welcome to the Storied Life. I was not planning on recording today, but I forgot to film an intro for this video. So, welcome to my channel. It's literally just my life, and today I am starting a journal. I don't know if I'm going to continue it. I don't know if it works for me, or what's going to happen with it, or if anybody will even watch me blabber for half an hour straight, but call it a podcast if you want. I don't know. It's just a really fun way for me to get my ideas out because I'm an auditory person, so talking to a camera is a lot easier than writing stuff down. I think what I ended up talking about most was what I want to do for a living and how I'm figuring that out. And then next journal, I take a personality test to see if that goal is correct. So let's get into it. Okay, we'll just see if this works. Hoping the audio quality is good. We'll see what happens. Sorry I haven't vlogged recently, first of all. I know last weekend we were at a camping trip, and so we literally just got back from that. So it was very complicated, and I didn't have time to vlog, and I didn't want to vlog because we were spending some time with some old friends. But I am gonna try and get some new edits up. I'm going into Minecraft right now because I have a little bit of time before babysitting, trying to make a model replica of all three of the bases of Spellbound. If you don't know what Spellbound is, it's my dream job. Actually, that's what I'm kind of talking about today, because the owner of Spellbound, Matthias, he recently started a journal, which I thought was really cool, and I'm not going to do that because I know I'm super boring, but I just thought it was really interesting because he talked a lot about like what he wants Spellbound to end up as, and what his goal is, where they're at with that, and I just thought that was really cool because that's basically what I want to do. And so you know, Spellbound has been my dream job for a while. If you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen that, very much so. But I mean, I've written fan fiction, I've done role playing just for fun. I'm part of their theory team. I'm part of their like early feedback release sort of thing, where they'll put videos up or video ideas or things like that up for us to look at. I'm as involved as a fan can be, but it's just not enough. I don't know. I want to see more of it, and I want to be a part of that story. Although the one they're on now, Project 863, will probably be over by the time I get there. Yeah, no, it definitely will be, because it ends in 2024, and I'm not going to be there till 2025 at the earliest, which sucks, but it'll be okay. Basically, his vision for Spellbound is that he wants to make a space where people can jump into a story, collaborate, work together, be creative, you know, try to make it as fanficable as possible, and as relatable as possible, and as interesting as possible, and leave as much open as possible, because that's our job on the Discord, on the app. Our job, his vision is that we will end up as like one cohesive community who is all working together, and I've seen that so much, and I've said multiple times that 863 is my favorite community out there, because we are so collaborative. Like literally, we could get anything done. I've seen so many unique people on there, and you know, like literally, I'm best friends with a like person who's over double my age on there. And we are, you know, we talk, we collaborate, we make theories together, we make jokes, like, and I swear, we are the most sassy community out there as well, I guarantee you. And so it's a really wholesome, fun, interactive place, and, you know, I really want to be a part of that. And so basically his vision for Spellbound is that whatever story they're doing will end up being a collaborative place, and like help people sort through their own junk that's going on. Like I know for me, I've been going through some really tough spots with just like various relationships, and 863 was like honestly my favorite place to go for that. And it was 863 that basically gave me my therapy in a sense, because like, you know, my thing that I do to relax is I'll imagine, like I'll sort of escape, and whether that's just like watching a television show or, you know, whatever. And I know escapism isn't always healthy, but what I do is I'll put myself in a different character, and like, you know, it can do multiple things. Like, it can put your problems into perspective, so I'll be like, oh, well, maybe my life's not that bad compared to, like, what they're going through. I'll either do that, or it'll just restore my faith in humanity sort of thing. And, you know, I'm being super jokey about this, but writing has helped me so much with just, like, processing things. And I started out as a really bad author. I actually have a fanfiction account where I just started putting all of my old fanfiction and some new ones. You can really tell which ones are old and which ones are new, because the old ones are horrible. They're horrible. But, you know, going through that, I literally, like, the third fanfiction series I wrote was called The Falling, and it's an 863 fanfic where they go, you know, basically there's a abandoned Syntech location under their base, and they figure out that one of the people on their team is not who they seem to be, and then they get locked down there, and then, you know, they have to figure out how to balance all of the horrible things that are going on, and yet still be in a place where they want to be with, like, their workplace and, you know, their lives in general, and not get their entire lives to get taken over by this rabbit hole that they're getting sucked into, while also still, like, trying to care for everyone and keep a business running and, you know, still have that beautiful carefree environment that I want so badly to be part of. And, you know, that's something they actually struggle with a lot in the show, and they're starting to get a balance of, and just really fun for me to write through that, because that's what I had to figure out as well, is like a balance between pushing for what I want and also making sure that I don't stomp on any relationships along the way, and like just it's a balancing act. And I've gotten so much better since I wrote that, because, you know, having a different character go through things, I can look at it objectively, like, what's the solution for their problem, and then realized, like, I did this entirely subconsciously. I realized, like, there was this one line, and I wish I could cite it. You know, the line is that she says something along the lines of, like, we can balance it. We can have a part of us that is specifically for solving this mystery and, you know, getting our friends help. But then we also need to be very careful that we don't let that stomp on, you know, what makes us us. Just so perfect, because she problem solved for a company, and then I realized that through that I could solve my own problems with that perspective, where there is a balance where I can have a very serious, very set in stone, this is what has to happen, but also still be a good friend and still, like, I don't know, it was just really cool, because I wrote it and I was like, yay, Sam, and then it gave me, like, this, I started getting chills, for real, like, I didn't know why, and then I started rereading it, and I was like, wait, I should take my own advice, and so I started, like, trying to apply that, like, literally, having a separate, almost a separate persona, in a sense, for different things, like, you know, what I consider me is the part of me that's, like, really, like, just focused on creativity, and so, like, writing or making these videos or whatever. But then there's also the serious side where it's like, okay, but I have to do schoolwork, I have to maintain a relationship, you know, like, I can't be that typical stereotype of a fanficker who just never sleeps and drinks coffee 24/7, which, honestly, that has been me for the past 3 days, but in my defense, I was babysitting a 6-year-old for 3 days and got 5 hours of sleep a night and chased him around from 6:30 to 10:30 pretty much, and then tried to have time to write as well, which, speaking of, there's a new one-shot, or maybe more, called, what did I call it? Oh my god. I'll figure out what to call it. I haven't picked the name yet, but, so go check it out. And also check out some of my other stories. My favorite ones are Realized and The Past No Longer Haunts Me, which are both about flashbacks two of the main characters have after being mind-controlled, and it's all the feels, because that's, I guess, a form of escapism for me, but it's just therapeutic, I don't know, to write, and I never would have found that if it wasn't for 863, so thank you to Spellbound, not that anyone from there is out there. And, you know, that's what I want to be a part of. And one of the things he said that I really liked as well was Matthias, in his journal video, said said that his vision for Spellbound was to create a community that you can jump into, get involved in the story, escape from, reality, but also problem solve and socialize and have a large group of friends backing you, right? And that's why the restrictions on the Discord are so strict, is because anything that's not conducive to building relationships and solving stories and just, being a collaborative team of people, that, it's gonna get removed. And that's why, because his whole goal is to create a safe place where people can solve the story, but also talk about their real lives whenever necessary, and, know that they're anonymous, and know that people are gonna be there to back them up, and that other people have gone through the same thing. The personal stories that have been shared on that Discord blow my mind, of, how much, it's really just a name on a computer screen until you get to know them and know their backstory and know how much they've really went through. And there have just been strings upon strings upon strings of chats, messages, just telling people from Spellbound how much, the story has changed their lives. And it's not, it's a story about a group of YouTubers solving a mystery in their building, which used to be an old lab, right? It doesn't feel like anything world-changing, but then you get the feedback, the feedback team, who, I swear, we're hilarious. I want us all to meet up in person so bad one day. But, who just joke off and make memes, and, we are the most collaborative group of people I've ever met. And because it's online, you don't have to worry about... Let's just say there's a reason no one participates in Zoom classes, but it's completely anonymous, so you can just put your stuff out there and not worry about it, and everyone is so, polite and whatever, and have our share of bad apples, but that's just the world. And it's just the most collaborative, positive, kind space I've ever been a part of. And it is so fun to just be a part of that, in general. I don't even... I'm technically not part of actual, Spellbound stuff, but I am, in the sense that I'm part of the community, and just... I don't know how to describe it. I know I'm saying everything over and over again, but I legit don't know how to describe how amazing that feeling is. Just knowing that you're part of a group with a mission, and actually being an active part of making that goal happen, which is solving the mystery. And it's special, and I really want to be a part of that, because, again, it doesn't seem like it's life-changing stuff, but it for sure can be. The amount of healing I've seen from people over, the course of 863, I guess, is insane. This is what people were meant to do, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, is be collaborative and work through things and be there for each other and just have fun with other people. And especially because of the thing we don't speak of, that's been stripped from a lot of really good places that are out there, and that's really sad, because, I think as humans, God created us to crave that collaboration, that working together, and that feeling of solving things and learning. And it's why people love escape rooms, because you all have to work together to, at a common goal, to figure something out and, learn something, or just use the brain God gave you. I don't know. And so much of that is not in existence anymore. And I don't know, Spellbound is one of the few places where that's the actual environment. They don't have to fake it. It's entirely real, and it's amazing. I don't know what else to tell you. But I just really want to be part of that. And unfortunately, I can't create a story that powerful yet, because one person can only do so much. But I will say I have learned a lot through Spellbound of, what I want to do with my life and how I want to make the world a better place, and just, what my goal is. Because literally, as he was saying that, I was like, yes, 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 yes. Collaboration, community, creativity, freedom, escape, just being able to be real, being anonymous, everything about what they're trying to do is amazing, because it's literally taking a completely non-serious, life-changing story and giving it so much meaning that people will come back even if the show is horrible because they want to see it done. And not saying the show is horrible, it's amazing. They do an amazing job with it. But, honestly, I wouldn't even care if there were a billion plot holes in each episode because, we could find a way to write that in and make it make sense. And then that would just make the collaboration even better, just, have an emergency meeting in the Discord. Okay, how do we make this make sense? Actually, you know what? We did that one time because there was a prop that they weren't supposed to have anymore that was just sitting outside, and a whole bunch of people noticed it. But the video had already been released, so we had to come up with the Spellbound had to come up with a backup, with just a random story to sort of explain away why the prop suddenly showed up again. And literally no one thought any different of it. We're on a different level. Well, they're on a different level. Hopefully we're someday. This is special. And I wish I could do that on my own account, but I don't. I have a lot to learn. And I'm not. Again, one person can only do so much, but that's where I want to get eventually. It's just making people feel better and getting people to work together, and a vlog isn't going to do that. Maybe that's why I don't have as much motivation when it comes to making vlogs as it does story-based videos. I can write so much feeling and friendship and collaboration, and one of my favorite stories that I ever wrote was just literally just the Spellbound had a massive sleepover, and during the sleepover they found out that one of their friends was hurt, and then that led to a whole thing. And it's just a group of literally 50 people, and they brought fans in, and they brought they realized that on Spellbound, on the Discord, there's doctors and engineers and web designers, and they brought everyone in, and it was just a massive group collaboration to find and help this person. It was just so fun to see. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's just special. And I want to do that, but I tried story. Okay, the Treehouse Mystery was plenty enough story for me. Don't know how to get there, but I do think I'm gonna get there eventually. And I'm rambling, but who cares? And so that's why I want to work there. But I'm trying to figure out how I can get that now, because I don't want to wait 3.5 years, 2.5 years. That's amazing. Only 2.5 years until I can try for that. But, I really want to be a part of that. Why would he build you for something and then have you do something else? So, this is the most comfortable position I've ever been in. And I'm literally looking forward to summer so much because school didn't even cross my mind. I'm the goal now is get done with school for now so that I can do what I want for as long as possible, which is going to be over summer. We're going to go to Arizona. I'm going to vlog. We're going to do this. I'm going to vlog. And it's going to be really fun, I think, to sort of flesh out, maybe even try just daily vlogging. I've been thinking about doing that for a while. It's so much work I don't have time for. But just daily vlogging, just putting it all out there, sort of like this, but then also just having fun. And the Storied Life was named the Storied Life because the idea is to take my life and make it a story, because I want that insane amount of realism that they have in 863. That is literally just a studio where they live their lives, and then this mystery is just a part of their lives because it's happening in their studio. But I guess that's the point of the Storied Life, is to make my life a story, and I want to figure out how to do that. And so that's what this summer is going to be about, and hopefully I'll, figure out where I stand in all of this. Not the same angle as I had before, but that's fine. So, on that note of, trying to flesh out what I want to do and hone my skills over the summer, I actually have a really cool announcement, which is I'm going to intern with a professional videographer summer, and just be a PA, but production assistant, and learn how to work the cameras and how to get the lighting right and how to all the basic film stuff, because I don't know, I want to write and I also want to film, so And then my parents want me to do a real thing at college as well, so there's no way I'm double minoring in writing and film. That's just too much. I could, but then I also want to have a job at Spellbound simultaneously, so it would probably be too much. I'm one of those people who will give myself too much work and then force myself to do it just to prove to myself that I can, and then be like, oh, okay, so if you pull an all-nighter, you can get all your homework done in one day, so do that weekly, and then you can do so much more, and then I just, like, run myself to the ground, and then I'm also like, wait, but I can do more, so I have to do more, because that's just, it's a whole complex that I created because I'm scared of being lazy, and then not, achieving my goals because I'm lazy. But I'm going to have to not use the mic for a minute because it's connected to my phone right now. And thank you to Matthias for articulating the vision for Spellbound, because I didn't know how to describe it until he did that. And, I agreed with everything he said. I just didn't know how to put it into words, and then he put it into words for me, so that's great. Because I had the sense of, like, I love the community, I love the whatever, but then he showed exactly, like, how that community can be used for healing and actually making people's lives better, and now it just makes so much more sense. Because, even when I wanted to do cooking, that's what it was about, was, cooking as, like, food is, people get together around food. And so that was, like, my entire motivation was, like, to bring people together and, serve them good things and make them feel better. But, I feel like I can do that better through videos than cooking, because, like it or not, my cooking is not the best. I think this is where I get my love for community from, because at my youth group, it's called Fuel. I have my family, okay? We have a literal family-like hierarchy. I am the grandmother, like the matriarch, I guess, and then the two mothers are my two daughters, who are sisters, and they look like sisters, but they don't look like my kids, because one of them is 2 months younger than me, and they're both very much not my nationality, so that's fun. But, like, I've known them for so long, and I'm so comfortable around there. Like, it literally doesn't even count as socializing at this point. Like, they're just recently started an improv chat as well, and hopefully we'll be actually doing videos. That would be fun, of just, like, parodies of Bible things, or literally anything. Like, I think we did an improv at one of our friends' game nights, and that's what gave us the idea. And so our first improv was about a mafia thing, and then the second one was about a hostage situation. So we have some interesting brains. And there was also a shopping cart chase with guns down an abandoned subway. I don't know what's happening, bro. I don't know what happens in any of our improvs, but that's really fun. And so, just, like, being around them, it's just a creative, easy to be around place, or, like, you can just be funny and make content out of it. Like, literally all of my friends, all of my friends except for 3 are cool with being on camera. We can do those improvs, and we can do those little funny bits that we just instinctively come up with together, of, like, let's do this, it would be fun. And then I'll be like, hey, is it cool if I film that? And they're like, yeah. Do little bits, like, there's one that I still haven't gotten around to editing, where we called DoorDash at 2 in the flipping morning, and got this is to this day one of my favorite stories. Called DoorDash 2 in the morning, got 7-Eleven pizza and 7 Select ice cream, which, if you're familiar with 7-Eleven, is, like, the worst combination in the history of the universe. And said person was scared that, something bad was going to happen when we DoorDashed. She made me take a staple gun out there. I don't know what that was supposed to do. Maybe blunt force trauma. Like, just the loyalty and the community and the caring about each other, and the fact that we can just be complete idiots with each other and have fun with it and not worry about, like, what are they going to think of me? What are they going to think of me? And I'm just so at home with them that it doesn't even count as social interaction at this point. And that's what I want Spellbound to be. But also, like, it's a place where I don't have to worry about, like, oh, are they okay with me filming? Are they okay with whatever? Because, some of my friends aren't cool with filming. Some of them are just a little bit uncomfortable about it. And that does make it a lot more tense. That's why I want to go to Spellbound, because their whole point is filming. and the originates exactly what mine is, except they already have theirs in place, so I don't have to worry about finding other people like that, because I have a feeling it's a pretty rare occasion, like it's a pretty rare occurrence of someone who has such a sense of like story being a healing place. Because so I really think that's what I ended up getting at, which is really cool that I have a cohesive like ending point, even though I didn't even plan before I started just talking. But I think that's my goal, is to find a place, whether it be Spellbound or somewhere else, where where like everyone is creative and everyone is comfortable with each other. And it's basically, you know, our group is called the Chops Fam. It's basically the Chops Fam, but a place that's specifically meant for creativity through film or writing, which, you know, I have the writing, but it's isolated. I have the film, but it's isolated. It's just me. And then I have the community, but the two don't mix, is the only problem. And Spellbound, I think, is the only place that I have found that combines the two into such a perfect place where even if you're not working there, even if you're just a fan like me, you can get so involved and so invested and form such strong communicative relationships. And I don't know, look, I can't even not smile, but I need your help, I guess, because this summer is going to be about finding that, even if it's not across the country, is figuring out how to do that without making people uncomfortable, whatever. And also finding the right technology. I have a mini camera right now. That's amazing. But I'm trying to decide between a Osmo Pocket 2 and a 360 camera that they use for 863, both of which could be really cool for vlogging. But I'm leaning towards the body cam 360 because you can just wear a necklace and put it like on the necklace and it magnetizes, and then you don't have to worry about making people uncomfortable. Like, people aren't even gonna be able to tell you're videoing, which would be amazing, because I'm so self-conscious when I film. I am so self-conscious about people are gonna see me, people are gonna do whatever. Bullet point list this summer is gonna be about finding a community here, finding a type of vlogging, or even just a type of story that I like to make, figuring out how to make it a cohesive story, whether it be my life or if I'm, writing a story and acting it out, and then figuring out what tools to use to make that happen. And please, if anyone has any suggestions, tell me, because I don't know what to do at all. I'm a complete noob, and the internship is going to be great because it's going to teach me the tools part of it, and I already know the goal. I just have to figure out how to connect the two. So thank you for listening to that verbal diarrhea for 45 minutes. I'm going to cut it down way less than that, but just thank you. And I don't know, it's nighttime for me. Have a good night. I have to go to fuel.